Okay, in part 29, we left off with this part. We saw these photos and we were talking about the evidence, and then I showed the video footage of the officer bringing the evidence to have them put into the drying lockers, and some photos and things like that. I was asked a very good question about that, and I was asked, why do you think the girls' clothing and such wasn't put in these dryer lockers as well? Why didn't we see that? Well, I just don't have an answer for that. We do know, because we just read the autopsy, that it said what the girls were wearing, and it also said that their clothes were put into bags and labeled and all that too, just like Shanann's. However, the girls wasn't shown going in, and be put into the evidence room and drying lockers and such. We did not see that. I don't know why. My only hypothetical possibility of a answer would be maybe they were too oil soaked to be put into the drying lockers, because I'm sure that those oils and things like that have to be very closely monitored as far as temperature, all that kind of thing. They would probably have to be put into something very different than just a drying locker. So I don't know that, but that's what I'm assuming. However, we never even saw photos of their clothing, so I don't know the answer. That is the only possible reason I would know that why it didn't show the girls' clothing also being put up as evidence. I don't know. Okay, moving right along into part 30. It says, based upon the following facts, on August the 13th, 2018, at approximately 13:40 hours, Officer Coonrod was dispatched to 2825 Saratoga Trail on a check well-being call. 13:40 hours is 1:40 p.m. The reporting party, Nicole, and I will be saying Atkinson when I use her name. I may just refer to her as N.A. because the last name she had here, I'm assuming is before she got married. I'm not sure, but I'm sure I wouldn't even pronounce it right, even if I tried, so I'm not even going to try and mess it up. So, Nicole Atkinson called about her friend Shanann Watts. Nicole stated she dropped Shanann off at her residence at around 1:48 a.m. after returning from a business trip that took place in Arizona. Nicole stated Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant and was not feeling well during the trip. Later that morning on 8/13/2018, Nicole became concerned because Shanann was not answering her phone calls or text messages, and also missed her doctor's appointment that was scheduled for 10 a.m. Nicole went to Shanann's residence and discovered her car in the garage with car seats positioned inside of it. Note: Shanann and her husband Chris have two daughters who are 3 and 4 years old. Nicole attempted to enter the front door, but a latch prevented it from opening more than 3 inches. Nicole called Chris and requested he come home to check on Shanann, as she believed Shanann may be suffering or passed out due to some medical conditions. Okay, there's a part here that I want to kind of talk about and show you a couple of photos. And I don't generally do this and go through photos and such as that, but we're starting to get into a part of the discovery that a lot of people, it's worth, it's important, is a better word. It's important to actually show visual with what is inside the discovery. So that is why I went ahead and put that footage on part 29. Now here is a part I would like to show some visual as well. Keep in mind, what I show you and what I see myself, I will never say is 100% the way it is, okay? It's just the way I see it. You may see it a completely different way. And I am not saying things in this discovery didn't happen, but there is things in this discovery that's questionable to many people. And so, with that being said, This is what I'm talking about. The part right here where it says, Nicole went to Shanann's residence and discovered her car in the garage with car seats positioned inside of it. Okay, now let's look at a photo for a moment. Okay, this is the garage. Okay, now do you see the windows at the top of the garage there? They're pretty high up there. You know, judging from where Nick is standing there, and I'm going to say Nick is, I don't know, 5'10" maybe, but he is standing on a step. Well, from where he's standing, I absolutely could not see into the garage, right? Not through those windows. No way. Okay? It's not possible. Now, I believe it was said that Nicole actually pulled her car up there and her son, you know, got on the top of the car and looked in the window. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I'm just saying fair enough. But why didn't Nate's camera pick that up? I mean, Nate should have, we actually watched him scrolling through the footages he had, right? And it should have also been noted in the discovery that that was confirmed on Nate's video camera because, you know, we saw Chris at the garage, so yeah, it looks like we could have saw that as well, but for whatever reasons, it's not there, but either way. Now, you see the car, the Thayer's car here in this photo, the white car. Visualize in your mind if this car pulled up to that garage right there. Now, as you see, the hood is probably going to come about the height of the garage handle, right? I mean, would you say that's about right? So, if her son were to have gotten on the hood and try to gaze up over, then maybe there's a possibility he could, you know, be tall enough to see through those windows, right? Look at those windows. They're very tinted. They're tinted. They're small, tinted windows, okay? So, that said, in my opinion, it would be hard to look through them and see much through them, even if you could get up high enough to see through those windows. Because tint, we all know if we have it, you can't hardly see anything looking, you know, from the outside in. You can see it looking from the inside out, but quite the opposite. You really can't see much looking on the inside. As you can kind of see here from the Thayer's car, the back of their windows tinted, you can't see in that car, right? And you definitely wouldn't be able to see into it if you was looking through another pane of double tint. That's what I'm saying. Okay, now let's look at Shanann's car for a moment, because I don't want nobody coming at me, well, Shanann's car didn't have tinted windows. Well, let's look at her car a moment. Okay, here is her car when she got it, and as you will see, even sitting in that very well-lit car establishment, it's even hard to really see in the front window that's not tinted, right? But the back window is tinted, and so is the very back glass. And let me show you what I mean on the back glass. As you can see here, the back glass is tinted as well. Now, we're not looking through double tint right now. We're just looking at the car. Can you see on the inside of that car in the back? No, I can't. Okay, now here is the back of Shanann's car. There is the back glass. Even with the garage door open, I couldn't tell you if car seats were in there. So, I have to say that if he crawled up on there, and I may get some criticism for saying this, but I really don't care because this is the way I see it. If he crawled up on the hood of that car and looked through those tiny windows of the garage that are also tinted, I personally don't think he could see anything but black. That's my opinion, and I could be flat wrong, but that's double tint. And tint is made, you can't see in it. You can see out, but you can't see in. And that was looking in two directions. So, I question that part of discovery. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, but I absolutely do. And it may say it on in here as we continue to read, but Nicole said that the garage door was shut when they got there. Because Chris did get the 12, and Shanann, they both got an alert for 12:42. that the garage door shut. So she did say it was shut when they got there. Also, if they had also confirmed that the car seats were in there, you know, that's the first thing Nicole did, is she ran and she peeped in to see if the car seats were in there. Now watch when Chris opens the door and see how her car is pulled up there at the garage. See? It's pulled hood first. Okay, now watch when Chris opens that garage, the first place that Nicole runs.
So this was the only vehicle she would have? Only one that, yeah. She would drive? Okay.
See? She looked in there, and right there's where she confirms the car seats are in there. And she's telling Miss Ruth that the car seats are in there. So when she made the initial call to the officer, she said that the car was in there and the car seats were in there. Well, I have a problem with that part of the discovery. In my opinion, there's no way she knew the car seats were in there. You can see her car pulled up there, so I can see how her son may have got on the hood and looked in there. Maybe. But also, I don't think he could have seen that the car seats were in there or not. Do you? Or am I just crazy here? Okay, moving right along into the discovery. Tell me what you guys think on that part, because it absolutely does say that when she made the call, she discovered her car in the garage with the car seats positioned in it. So that was the part of her call that she made to them. So I do question that. I truly do. Okay, I believe he possibly did see that her car was sitting in there. You know, maybe he could make that much out. I feel like it would have been dark in the garage anyway, but I feel like he can make that out if he, you know, could get up there and see through the window. But I don't see how he could have saw if the car seats were in there. And, you know, and then Nicole runs over there and she holds her hand up, and then she's telling whoever she's on the phone with, which I believe is Miss Ruth, said, yes, the car seats are in there. So, anyway, moving on along. Upon arrival, Officer Coonrod checked all windows and doors, including the rear slider door, and discovered all of them were locked and no way into the house. Officer Coonrod contacted Chris and asked for the code for the outside garage door keypad, who stated it did not work, but that he was only 5 minutes away. When Chris arrived, Officer Coonrod entered the home with Chris's consent in an attempt to locate Shanann and their 2 children, but discovered they were not in the home. When questioned by Officer Coonrod, Chris said Shanann arrived home from her trip at 2 a.m. Chris said he woke up at around 5 a.m. and began talking to Shanann about a marital separation and informed her he wanted to initiate the separation. Chris stated it was a civil conversation and they were not arguing but were emotional. Chris stated at around 5:27 a.m. he backed his truck up to the garage door to load up his tools and left for work, and that Shanann was in bed when he left. Note: a neighbor's video surveillance system recorded this event. Chris said Shanann told him she was going to a friend's house later that day with their 2 children, but didn't know the friend's name. Chris, who works for Anadarko, stated he went to a job site near Hudson to check on it. At Officer Coonrod's request, I responded to the scene and arrived at approximately 2:35 p.m. Upon arrival, I was briefed by Officer Coonrod and also learned Shanann's personal effects, including her cell phone, purse, wallet, and medication, were located in the house. Upon entering the residence, and see, I was under the impression that they could not find her purse until Detective Baumover was already there, but this says, that everything was still there. Upon entering the residence, I observed Shanann's purse on a counter kitchen island and a suitcase located at the bottom of the stairs leading to the upstairs bedroom. A pair of women's shoes were located near the front door. Upstairs, I observed the bed in the master bedroom had been stripped of its bedding and was lying on the floor. Officer Coonrod and I both checked the bedding for signs of foul play, but found nothing. In a loft area located between the bedrooms was Shanann's cell phone, that I later learned was found between two cushions on a sofa located in the loft area. On scene, I asked Chris to walk me through the period of time when he last saw Shanann. Chris arrived home from the airport at approximately 1:48 a.m. At approximately 4 a.m., he informed Shanann he wanted to go through with the separation, and they were both upset and crying. Chris said Shanann told him she was going to a friend's house that day. Chris said at approximately 5:27 a.m., he backed his work truck into the driveway to load up his tools, and shortly thereafter drove off to a work site near Hudson. Neighbor Nate, home video surveillance shows Nicole's vehicle leaving at 1:48. At 5:27 a.m., Chris's truck is observed backing into the driveway and leaving a short time later. Chris provided consent to check Shanann's phone and ultimately surrendered it to allow me to examine it for information leading to Shanann's and the daughter's whereabouts. I transported the phone to the Frederick Police Department, where it has remained since I collected it. So see, he got Shanann's phone at that point. A neighborhood canvass was conducted for several hours later that evening by patrol, and a check well-being bolo was initiated through dispatch. On 8/14 at approximately 7 a.m., I learned neither Shanann nor the girls had returned to the residence. I requested an immediate press release be issued and initiated assistance from CBI and ultimately the FBI. I do have that press release that he is referring to on the channel. I will link it at the end of this video if you have not saw that yet. A 2-day investigation revealed Chris was actively involved in an affair with a co-worker, which he denied in previous interviews and polygraph. The polygraph also indicated Chris was very deceptive when answering questions regarding knowledge of Shanann and the girls' whereabouts, and if he had anything to do with their disappearance. Okay, I have an issue with this too. It says the polygraph indicates Chris was very deceptive when answering questions regarding knowledge of Shanann and the girls. Okay, during the actual polygraph and the questions, he was never asked about the girls. Ever. It was always Shanann. On the questions he was asked, they were all Shanann. The girls were never mentioned in the actual polygraph test.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Breathe normal. Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to be even with them?
No.
Just breathe normal. Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. And relax. How do you feel?
Horrible.
Carlos? Yeah?
Just like trying to look at something without nothing there.
The chair thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it gets kind of weird, like, that's why I always tell people not to
Just
try
thought
to
it
do
was just,
that thing.
I don't know, upbeat and trying to keep everything still.
Do you feel like you're in a good position right now, as far as
I
height
just-
sitting and that
yeah,
kind of
I
stuff?
feel like it's okay.
Okay.
Just not used to this.
Do you have any issues with the questions, as far as you physically causing Shanann's disappearance? Is there anything that you were like, I don't like how that question's, worded, maybe,
No.
or does it cause you, or you know exactly what I'm talking about?
I know,
What I mean?
I'm there.
Okay, and as far as, the last time you saw her, talking about in the bed,
Yeah.
when you saw her makeup coming out of her face, and then if you know where she is now,
Yeah.
having direct knowledge of where she would be at this moment. Okay? Okay. So, do you want to take some drink of water, or are you ready to start the second turn?
There's some water.
Okay. You probably want that Mountain Dew now, don't you?
He was never asked about the girls now before the polygraph and after, when he was being interrogated or questioned or whatever you want to call it. He was, yes, he absolutely was. Shown pictures of the girl, everything. But this says the polygraph indicated he was deceptive, answering questions regarding Shanann and the girls. Well, he was never asked about the girls. That is something that I never understood, of why the girls, he was never questioned about anything about them on the actual polygraph questions. He wasn't. He was before and after, but not during. In a subsequent interview, Chris was confronted about his deceptive polygraph results and asked to speak with his father, who was present at the police department. Chris said he would tell the truth after speaking with his dad. After being allowed to speak with his father, Chris stated after he told Shanann he wanted a separation, he walked downstairs for a moment and then returned to his bedroom to speak with Shanann again. While in the bedroom, via the baby monitor located on Shanann's nightstand, he observed Bella sprawled out on her bed and blue, and Shanann actively strangling Celeste. Chris said he went into a rage and ultimately strangled Shanann to death. Chris said he loaded all three bodies onto the back seat of his work truck and took them to an oil work site identified as Survey 319 with the GPS coordinates. Chris said he buried Shanann near 2 oil tanks and then dumped the girls inside the oil tank. Chris was presented an aerial photograph of the tank battery area and identified 3 separate locations in which he placed the bodies. Prior to Chris's confession, investigators arrived at Survey 319 with consent to initiate a drone search of the area. At approximately 4:15 p.m., investigators spotted a bed sheet in the field near the tank battery. The sheet matched the pattern of several pillowcases and a top sheet recovered from a kitchen trash can from the Watts resident earlier that day. The search was conducted with prior consent provided by Chris. The drone search also revealed fresh movement of dirt consistent with the shallow grave near the oil tanks. And then he is just requesting the issuance of a search warrant to complete a search of the identified premises. And the judge does sign off on the search warrant. And this is return and inventory. The undersigned officer being sworn says on the 15th day I duly executed the within search warrant by taking into my possession from the person at the place or in the vehicle named in said warrant certain property, and the following is a true and complete and correct inventory of the property as taken. Refer to attached inventory list. I further certify that said inventory was made by me in the presence of Tony Husky, and that a copy of that said warrant and a receipt for the property taken was given to me by Tony Husky, a person from whom or from whose premises the vehicle the property was taken or left by me at. The inventory shall be made in the presence of the applicant if the warrant and the person from whose possession or premises or vehicle the property was taken if they are present, or in the presence of at least one credible person other than the applicant for the warrant or the person from whose possession or premises or vehicle the property was taken. And of course, here is an inventory log. One black plastic bag, gray and white bedsheet, rake head, rake handle, suspected hair from the east oil tank, rake attachment sleeve, remains of Shanann Watts that was released to the coroner, remains of Celeste Watts that was released to the coroner, and the remains of Bella released to the coroner. This supplement report was generated solely for the purpose of creating properly numbers and tag numbers for CDs created for Weld DA investigator Kathy Hulsher to aid in discovery for the defense. This round of CDs contain a total of 24 discs. These CDs contain all media files, such as body-worn camera and photos. These photos will be created and given to Kathy Hulsher as the media files come in, nothing further. And then another supplement report. It says on 9/13 at approximately 11 a.m., Evidence Supervisor Purcell was in the process of booking and organizing evidence in the evidence room. Upon moving one bag of evidence for this case, it was noticed that the bag had begun to mold. Evidence Supervisor Purcell immediately placed the bag into the evidence freezer and notified Commander Egan of the finding. The evidence is listed as dirt from the coroner's sheet. This dirt was collected from the bottom of the drying cabinet at the time the sheet was hung to dry. Nothing further. On 8/14 at approximately 19:10 hours, I assisted Officer Lyons with canvassing the neighborhood. I spoke with a woman who resided on Steeple Rock Drive. I asked her if she had reviewed the flyer officers left on her door and if she had spoken or if she happened to know the Watts family. She stated she was aware of the situation but did not know the family. The woman stated she had not seen anything suspicious around the neighborhood other than an older gray Ford truck stopped to dump out his beer can that was later came back, and then he later came back to retrieve it. This was the only house I contacted before getting called away to handle other calls for service. Officer Perez. So, why would this older gray truck, and that is in the neighborhood canvassing, and I do plan to get that on the channel as well. It's not there now because I just assumed everyone had had that and seen that, but since it is part of Discovery, I am going to put it there. But why would this person do this with this beer can and then be like, oh, I better go get that? Why? Were they afraid somebody might find something on it, something like maybe DNA? Or did they just feel guilty for littering? Who knows? But that did happen. And that is in the Discovery as well. And I do have the video of that neighbor talking about that. I will get it on the channel for you. On 9/14/2018, after several attempts to speak with someone at the McDonald's that knew about the surveillance system, I finally got a call back from the supervisor, Brian Arpin. Brian advised that McDonald's did not use a security system company. Brian advised they only used a DVR that only held enough memory for approximately 2 weeks before automatically deleting to free up memory space. Brian advised in the flash drive I had provided him, he was able to put all of day 8/10 and only about half of the day of 8/11 worth of video. Well, I was unable to retrieve video surveillance from 8/12, 8/13, or 8/14. 8/13 is what was needed, the very most. The early morning hours of 8/13. Couldn't get it. On August the 17th, I received an email from Zach Brick, who stated that he worked for the Flatirons HD ultrasound office located in Erie, Colorado. Brick stated that he had heard about what happened on the news and wanted to inform the police that Shanann Watts and Chris had been in their office on 8/8. He advised me that there was video recordings in the office, and he sent me a link to those videos. I did not review the videos in full, and Brick reached out to the Frederick Police Department on his own accord. Evidence technician Amanda Purcell downloaded the videos and placed them on a CD and into evidence. 9/5 at approximately 1600 hours, evidence supervisor Purcell took custody of 2 flash drives dropped off at the police department by a man stating the flash drives were for either Officer Brent Manley or Officer Kate Lyons from the Conoco. The man did not state what they were for. Evidence supervisor Purcell spoke with Officer Lyons about the flash drives. Officer Lyons stated she was unaware of what the flash drives were for. Upon speaking with Officer Manley, it was learned that the flash drives were for the Watts case. I then handed the flash drives over to Detective Baumover so that he may view them if he wished. Neither Officer Manley nor Officer Lyons viewed the content of the flash drives. I guess nobody thought they were really important. On August the 15th, 2018, I went to the Frederick Travel Center, Conoco, located on Highway 52, to see if I could get the recordings from their security cameras. Officer Lyons had been to the facility earlier in the week providing dates and times that we were wanting to record. I spoke with Robin, who told me that she would be getting the recordings placed on USB drives and will get the UB drives to me when completed. I was advised by Robin on August the 27th that the recordings were completed. The USB drives were received at the police department by Amanda Purcell and added into evidence. I took screenshots of the text messages between Robin and I concerning the recordings and the USB drives. Those have been added to this report. My body-worn camera was not on while I was in the store talking to Robin about when the recordings would be finished. End of report, Officer Manley, or Sergeant Manley. And this would be the text message. It says, "Hi Brent, this is Robin from the Frederick Travel Center, the Conoco station. I was wondering if you guys still needed the video surveillance that you came in and talked to me about yesterday. Considering the devastating outcome of the case, please let me know as soon as possible." Okay. And then it says, "Hi Robin. Yes, we are still wanting all the video we can to try and have a complete and accurate timeline. Thank you. Do you think that would be finished today by chance? I will see what I can do. We'll let you know at around noon how far I'm able to get them by." Okay, sounds good, thank you. And then August the 20th, she comes back and she said, "I got all the video for North Register onto the thumb drive. Now I'm working on the South Register. Sorry it's taking so long, but it's because it's all in color and that takes forever." Okay, thanks. Will it be ready by Wednesday, do you think? We'll try. Gonna run out of space on the thumb drive, but pretty sure we have extra ones here. I'm the only one that is working on it. And then August the 27th, 1:49 p.m., she texts him and she says, "I got the footage done finally. The thumb drives are ready to pick up." And then this says, on 8/17/2018, Evidence Supervisor Purcell requested the 911 call and radio traffic from the initial check well-being call for this case from Weld County Communication and Dispatch. On 9/5, the requested CD was received through the U.S. Postal Service and put into evidence by Evidence Supervisor Purcell. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because the footage that I'm going to play at the end of this one is going to be what I just showed you with the car. It's going to be the very beginning, what we just read. When Baumover comes in, the well-being check, and I'm gonna play that for you here. I will also be getting the other footages that we talked about up on the channel as well. So, until next time, I hope you learned something new from this. Let me know what you think. And I hope you have a great day, night, or evening, wherever you may be. Please give us a thumbs up. Share our videos, like our videos. And until next time, this is Unjustified.
How you guys doing?
Brother,
What's that?
do you remember me?
Yeah.
Hey man,
How you been?
Hi.
You Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend,
All right.
and I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls, and she was very distraught over the weekend, wasn't eating normally or drinking, and we kept trying to force it on her because she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband and her supposedly are separating, but she didn't know this. She thought they were just having issues. He disclosed that to me today.
Okay.
Because I called him and I was like, have you talked or heard from Shanann since she left for work this morning? Because I can't get a hold of her. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are right in the front door.
She only has one vehicle?
No, they only have the one vehicle in his work truck.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
She
There's
took
not a...
the girls and went on a play date, but they're 4 and 2. She went on a play date. Why wouldn't she take in a car? They're both in car seats. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and she didn't go to the doctor's appointment.
Okay. No answer on the phone. Husband's on his way.
Supposedly, but he said that 30 minutes ago when I called him again, he said he was 45 minutes out still. And I know the code to the door.
You do?
I do, but there's a thing on it. There's a, no, it'll, even Chris and we can do it. There's a, they have the thing flipped up here.
Oh. What about the garage door?
I don't
Is
know.
there...
And the alarm goes off.
Do you mind calling him and seeing if we can get a passcode to this and get me permission to go in?
Okay.
I'm just gonna check the back, see if I can see anything.
There's no way to get in.
Right. I just want to look in all the windows, make sure I don't see anything out of... Do they?
See if it doesn't work on the outside.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah, so they're gonna have tarp on that one and tarp on the one over there too. At least they should have one on that. I'm assuming it's the if you can't enter the house unless you see signs of.
Yep. I've got to have more unless I get consent from him to go in.
And if you don't, you can't enter.
Because it could be grandparents came and picked him up. You know, it could be a lot of things. She left her phone. Her phone's dead.
And it doesn't change anything even if they are pregnant.
No, I mean,
It's different rules, but they're all about the
yeah,
same. And they're stable with
you've got your Fourth Amendment rights to the house.
Yep.
I can't violate that.
Yep. I told her.
That's why.
She's like, no, break down the door. I'm like, no. nobody phones.
No, not. I mean, if I saw her laying on the ground, something like that,
You saw signs of a fight or anything.
kids were. I could get a hold of the kids. No, mom's not answering.
Can't do much.
I got nothing right now though. How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay. Oh, we're just trying to get a hold of her. Felt like she wasn't feeling too good and pregnant, and they're just concerned.
No, I know he works in the oil field, so he's on certain days and off for.
You didn't see her today though, any outside or anything?
Her at all.
Okay.
That's not anything.
Right.
No, but to be honest with you, that's out of the ordinary. Usually when it's hot out, he usually doesn't put out like that. Have you talked to Dad? Ask him for the garage.
Shit. How am I gonna get in?
Yeah, I think she's diabetic, to be honest with you.
Oh, is she?
Something with her blood sugar, I thought. He said the same thing. Yeah.
My mom knows.
Her diabetic.
Yeah.
Is there a key code, Sandy, to open the garage from the outside? What is it? Because Mom's gonna get it.
Okay.
This is her parents.
Frank, what's the key code of the garage? Danny's house. The cops are there.
Well, I can't go in, but if they allow you to go in, I have to have the property owner's permission to enter.
Something's going on.
Okay. Well, he's the property
Well,
owner.
Chris told me Shannon was at her girlfriend's house.
Do we know who that is?
Do we know who?
Or phone number?
He didn't say.
When did he tell you that?
Chris is acting funny. I don't get it. What did he say?
He told me that Shanann didn't take the girls to school this morning because she was going to go on a play date, but her car's here. And then he told Abby that Shanann left the other night. I know this was his front door.
What? What,
I'm talking about the garage door.
what's Chris's phone number?
The driveway.
They have the top lock, the one that they have on there so CC can't escape. Chris's phone number is 910-309-1702.
Okay. It was Chris, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Okay. Right. Well, my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her, if she's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. Thanks. Dispatch Rec 981. East States Medical. This female is diabetic. Unknown if she is home though. Husband is on his way.
You say how long you're taking to get
He
here?
said like 5 minutes. So he's about here.
He's told us 45 minutes 2 times in a row. He told one of my mom's friends that he was on I-45, so the interstate pretty much.
Mhm.
And we waited the time we were told. The mom called again. He said he was still on it and to wait another 45 minutes. So he's just been giving us false times and everything. And we know he's been lying because his stories aren't adding up. He's
Right.
telling everybody different stories.
And do we have like her parents' phone numbers or anything we can call them to make sure?
She's not close to him.
Oh, she's not?
Not that. No,
Okay.
she still talks to him and everything, but they don't know any of the codes to the house or anything.
Well, I was just thinking maybe they were watching the kids or she was visiting them or
In the state,
they don't. Okay.
which I think that I think they're in Wisconsin or somewhere along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything out of place. I'm not hearing kids. I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, and all of her stuff is here, and I set off the alarm by trying to open the garage forcefully, and that didn't work. So, and their alarm's one of the ones where it goes off and it feels like it's making your ears bleed.
Mm-hmm.
So if she was in there,
She should have heard it.
yeah, she would have while she was sleeping, because they have little things on the wall on every room to go off.
What's Shannon's number?
It's 910.
And I set off the alarm. I'm assuming you probably know how loud the alarm stuff.
It's pretty loud.
Sorry.
That's kind of weird. And the lights upstairs.
850-3286.
Karen was gonna let the lights on.
No, I understand what you're saying. Maybe you need to find out everything. You guys are banging on the door.
hear the phone ring or anything.
Yeah, the neighbor has a camera system,
Mm-hmm.
and he said because we have one story. She's with a friend right now, and then there's another story. She's on a play date with her kids with another friend, and then she left in the middle of the night. So he's told us 3 different stories. So the neighbor over there said he has a camera that sees out into the street. So sorry. We asked him if he could see if he was able to see if she ever left the house.
All right, that'll
She
work.
got in someone else's car.
Shannon, are you home? Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known. Police department, if anyone's inside, make yourself known. Yeah, you'd think they were here, the kids or someone would respond though. You'd hear some kind of noise.
When did you talk to her last, Sandy?
How are you doing?
I don't think Chris is coming. No.
I'm here. Hang on.
Yeah, keep me on the phone.
Okay, get Madison.
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that, yeah.
She would drive? Okay.
That's me.
Is that you at
Yeah.
148?
The neighbors went and checked his cameras and they said that a white car drove away at 1. It was me though. That was me. I dropped her off.
That was the last action on my camera.
Okay. That's throughout the whole day or?
Besides Chris leaving.
Well, yeah. I just looked in the, I looked at night.
What about the, you know, there's no way you can look for the day? During the daytime?
What? Frantic. The girls' car seats are in the car too. So if she left with the friend, she would have took their car seats.
I can go look if he doesn't find her.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Huh? Chris is in the house. We're standing outside of the police office. Can we go in the house?
We can.
I mean, that's up to him. It's his house. If you guys,
Nikki, I'll give you permission to walk in my daughter's house.
mind if I come in, Chris? Okay.
Get Madison.
Yeah.
You checked upstairs? She's not there? I just want to make sure she's not passed out somewhere. Is she diabetic? You mind if I look around?
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. fine.
Outside, outside, outside.
Oh, you're fine.
You're outside. You're outside.
Good for. I'm checking the house for consent.
Down your phone.
Oh. Well, shoot. Any friends you know she would be hanging out with?
I mean,
I know. I guess her
Amanda,
parents are out of state.
Across country, North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's not happening. She can play with me. All the girls' blankies are gone. Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good. Nothing else appears to be missing though. Just
No.
stuff you'd take for a quick trip.
You got full ring. Her phone.
Her phone's here?
Yeah.
Her phone's here.
Does she work?
Yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home.
She works, this is her lifeline. So yeah, that thing turns back on, it's gonna start blowing up. Oh yeah. Trust me.
It was shut down.
She's in the flight. Yeah. Well, it was originally under the pillow on the couch. You know her passcode?
I don't know her passcode.
It used to be 2385, and now it's 6 digits.
It's the baby's due date.
1/31/8/19. About to blow up.
What does she do for work?
She works at a direct sales company called Drive.
How often does her blood sugar drop low?
Cassie, her friend in Arizona, said that that's the first time that's ever happened.
She normally has migraines, like a while ago, but she had them a lot this weekend. And Cassie's a nurse, so she figured it was because her blood pressure sugar was dropping.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't eating her normal that she normally eats. Like she'd take a couple bites until she was full.
Okay.
And she takes.
She doesn't ever black out or have
No,
seizures or anything like
No,
that.
I mean, a long time ago. She got in a car wreck, and they believe that's what happened. But Imitrex is something she takes for migraine. She took more Imitrex this last month than she ever had before, but that's just because she was in North Carolina with the humidity and everything like that. She was there for 6 weeks, and we got back Monday or Tuesday, and then she flew out to Arizona Friday morning, and then she got back last night about 2 a.m. The flight got delayed. She left about 11. She got here at 2.
Okay.
And I went to work this morning about 5:15, 5:30.
What do you do?
I work at oil and gas in Anadarko.
What do you do for them?
Operator.
Long days then?
Yeah, I definitely still be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a long day, especially in that heat. There's no like off text messages unless
Can you look at your camera to see from your security system to see when she left?
it's us who left out the front door.
Because you told me that she went on a play date with the girls, and then
That's what she told me.
Addie said you told her that
She went with some friends she went to go to a friend's house with the kids. That's why I knew they weren't at school.
Addie said you told her that she left in the middle of the night.
Oh no, she didn't leave in the middle of the night, no.
Yeah.
Where do you kids go to school at?
Primrose and Mr. Ridge.
Daniel wants to talk to me.
Okay. Hey. Yeah. No. Yeah, she said she was at a friend's house. That's what she told me she was going to do.
Nicholas.
I have no clue at whatsoever why she wouldn't take her cell phone. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. She didn't leave out the front door, I can't see it. Well, yeah, I can look at that and see. But it's so random because it goes off and on here lately. It gets false trips because it told me it was open when I got here. I know it doesn't make any sense at all. I'm lost. I don't know where she's at, where the kids are at. Hello?
I don't see her first because she's doing
Yeah. Only people that are out of state that she would contact would be in Arizona, be Cassie and Josh, and she's not there.
The guy with the camera said nobody left the house during the day. The only people that showed up in the driveway and entered it were us.
I can look. What's that?
Your neighbor's camera.
Your neighbor, he has cameras, he said that the only people that left the house were you in the morning and then Joe showed up and was us. That's all he has.
I dropped her off.
Okay. But who left and then just. Okay. I'll see if I can get on that USA app or Chase app, see if I can get on it, please. I'll see. I will. Alright, here's Nikki.
Hello?
Dispatch for 91. You can cancel medical if they're staged.
First is the last person that you want to last.
So, what time do you work?
Usually, once I get to work, it's like 6:30 to 3:30, 4 o'clock.
You usually work nights or days?
Days.
What time do you leave the day?
What time I leave there? Come
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
Alright. And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she was still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids if they're not at school.
Okay.
At the pool?
The little rec center thing right here?
There's a pool right down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been here for like off and on for 3 hours. You're nothing.
Alright, I can run down there and check.
I don't see it.
You guys having any kind of issues, marital issues, or
We're going through separation.
you are? Did you guys file it yet or anything, or just talking about?
No, we're gonna sell the house and do a separation.
And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most
civil,
part, or?
yeah.
Does your wife go to that swimming pool often, or the?
It just depends. I mean, on a hot day like this, I would say no.
Madison. I know, he loves the playground. We play it all the time when we come over.
Says at 5:27 a.m. the overhead garage door 2 was left open and never shut. About that time. So either like when I pulled away and shut the door, it never shut. It was shut when you got here. So either the sensor was tripping out, which has happened before. I've had to replace it 2 weeks ago before I left. It says the basement door was left open at 5:26. Visitor checked at 1:48. That's when she got home. And then the visitor checked at 12:10. That was when you came.
Were you able to pull up the video at the 12:10? See, was it front door?
12:10. That was Nikki.
That was you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ed was beeping at me out in the field. It was on the nightstand next to his brother's. Takes off your clothes and hair.
Does she do her work from a laptop, or is it just
Phone.
just from the phone?
What about your bank account? Did you see anything?
I tried her logins are different than mine. I don't.
It's not a joint account.
It's a joint account, but like she controls all of it. Like she doesn't let me do the finances because I was pretty horrible back in the day, so she just kind of handles all that and she does it. And I have the apps on my phone, but I don't have her login to get into it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's.
Can you log into your account though?
I can. No, I don't have like we don't have a laptop, but she has the one downstairs. So, but her login is different. Her login, I don't know her login. Like I know the password, but I don't know her login for user ID. It's always the same password, 4281915 capital SW. But it's just a matter of getting the login.
Usually the first that would show activity is she.
Right, if she's getting gas or
Yeah, somewhere.
what days does she typically do work?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, always.
What was the name of the company again?
Lebel. Level.
Where are they based out of?
Texas. But they don't have like they don't have like an office. It's just all.
Does she have someone that she reports to though?
She has her leaders, but they're both in northeast part of the country. Like that, she has Addie Maloney. She has Amanda Aikman. She has Sam Paisley.
Okay. What, do you have her phone number? Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say her last name was? There was no note or anything by the wedding ring?
No. I'll put it back where it was earlier on.
Is any of her clothes, anything like that missing?
Unnoticeable, not both of their names. Yeah.
It didn't look like she went through and packed up
No, I mean,
a bag
she
or
has
anything.
This and all that on the bottom, so it'd be kind of hard to tell if she took a little bit, or I mean, it'd be easy to tell if she took a lot, but it's hard to tell if she took a little bit or not.
Okay. She tell you anything about leaving, moving out?
Not moving out. I mean, the last time I talked to her was this morning. She said she was gonna take the kids to a friend's house, and then that's where she was gonna be. And then I've texted her today. I've never heard anything, but the car's here. Car
Right.
seats are here, unless somebody came and picked her up. But the people that I know, nobody's heard from her. Nobody's seen her.
Right. Who do you guys bank with?
Chase and USA.
Definitely an odd one.
I don't know what I can do right now. Should I drive around like the normal route that she would be?
Where does she normally go to?
I mean, just like drive where like she would normally take the kids to school. People that I know that live down, people that live, Kristen lives down that way. I mean, that's the only routes I know she would really take.
she go to their house frequently, or?
And not much, but. Hey. I'm still talking to the officer right now. Okay, bye. I will, definitely. Bye. Sorry about that. That was her mom. I mean, you think it's smart just drive around, see if I mean.
Probably not, because, I mean, you don't know what car she's in, where she's at. I mean, obviously, you're not going to see her car that's here.
Well, I know Amanda's out of town because her brother died.
Yeah.
She's not flying back till a day. And the other one she's really close with that I know is Sarah.
What else do you think I could do?
Yeah.
Just wait for her here?
Up here.
Well, I've got my detective coming,
Okay.
just because this is kind of an odd situation. See if we can try to get her pinpointed down, find a friend or something.
Okay.
He may have you call the bank.
Okay. Hey, sir, it's Chris Watts. Not too bad. Have you heard from Cheyenne today? No, I have not. I was just, you're my last person to call. So I'm just, all right. I don't want to make you nervous or anything, but I'll keep you posted. No. Okay, thank you. Bye. Not bad.
She lives around here.
She lives in Aurora.
Or
You okay? Yeah. How much to answer? Yes. She's smelly. Did you go potty? Need a new diaper? Yeah? Alright, good.
how long you been in the oil field?
Since 2015, well, Anarco 2015 January, Covenant year before that. After that, I worked on cars for 11 years.
You liking it?
I love the fact that I don't have to get carpal tunnel on my wrist. That's what I left it for. Left car business for.
Right.
Because it was just around my body. The oil field is less repetitive as far as the same stuff over and over, just doing that all the time.
Right.
It's a lot of lifting, but other than that, it's perfect for what I do. It gives me time with the kids. Like I used to be on 8 days on, 6 days off, but now I'm on 5 and 2, so let's go back to 8 and 6 next month. So I'll be getting a lot more time with the kids. That's what I'm excited about.
Right.
Give her a break.
Did she have any medical conditions other than
Lupus.
lupus?
Fibromyalgia. Rosacea. She thought she had RA, but she took a lot of medication in North Carolina. She stopped a bunch of it when she moved here. But she has some flare-ups here and there.
When did she move here?
When she moved here in 2012.
Okay. No, like recent. Is she taking any kind of medication?
Imitrex for migraines and some Monteg 2 class for like allergies and stuff like that.
Okay.
And some stuff for nausea.
No, nothing's changed as far as medication-wise?
No, not that I know of. Not that she said.
Any kind of behavioral changes, anything like that recently?
Going through a separation. That's the only behavior changes I've seen. Just more, a little emotional.
The neighbor said he went back. I don't know what he said.
Okay. Tell him I'll be there in just a minute.